Hello guys, welcome to JD Bots. In the last video, we had seen how to connect to the database using the entity framework. In this video, we will be creating a chatbot where we will be getting the data from the database. So let's get started. So this is the last project we had created. This is a data access layer and this is a console app where we had tested our connection, where we had given the employee code and we got the employee name. Okay, so let me create a new project. Let me open my Visual Studio and create a new project. Let me select the project type as AI bots and this, just for the demonstration purpose, I'll be using the EchoBot template. EchoBot.NET Core 3.1. I have given the name as EchoBot DB. Echo DB bot, I think that would be better. Okay, let me place the solution and project in the same directory and create the project. Okay, our project have successfully created. Fine. Now, as you had seen in the entity framework, we had installed two NuGet packages in the beginning only. So we'll be doing that now. Right click on dependencies, manage NuGet packages, and let me type it Microsoft Entity Framework SQL Server. Okay, and let's install this one. And the second package is tools. Okay, now next, what we did in the last video, we created a database. Okay, here also we'll be creating the database. I'll open the SQL Server Object Explorer. I think I'm gonna use the same database which we had created in the last video. So this was my local DB server and this was my database we had created in our last video. So the database consists of employee table. Okay, let me show you the data inside the employee table. Inside our employee table, we have two columns, employee number and employee name. We have given the employee number and here are the employee names. So here we'll be asking the bot the employee code and it will reply us with the employee name. Okay. Now next task was scaffolding. Here also we will be doing. So open your tools, NuGet package manager console. And make sure your default project is selected, that is Echo DB bot. And I'm gonna write the command. This is my scaffolding command. and let me change the DB name, that is sample DB. The name of our DB is sample DB, and the name of our local DB server is, right click, properties, so the data source is our local DB server. I have given the local DB server, I have given the database name, and this is our output directory models. So this directory will be created inside our project folder. So let's run this one. Okay, let's see our project structure. Here, as you can see, models folder is created and two tables are created, employee table and table, and this is a DB context. So in the last video we had made a mistake of creating a table with the name table. So we'll be ignoring this file, we'll be just considering employee class and sample DB context class. File. When we open this, it will show us both the columns, employee number and employee name. Fine. Okay, we have to make some changes in DB context. We'll have to comment this out. Okay. And also we have to read the connection string from the app settings.json file, because it's always a good practice to get the configuration data from the app settings.json file. It should not be hard coded inside your code. Currently it is being hard coded. As you can see, our connection string is hard coded over here. So this connection string, we have to get it from the app settings.json file. Fine. Now let me change the content of my app settings.json. I'll be copying the same content as we had seen in our last video. This Microsoft App ID and password is useful when you're trying to deploy your bot to the Azure. Currently, we don't have to use it. It's absolutely fine to leave it empty. Or if you want to remove it, then also it's fine. Okay, we have given our connection string, and the connection string name is sample DB connection string with my all the details. Okay. Let me save this one. Okay, now next part is getting the data. I'll open the echobot.cs file. So this welcome message is shown whenever users joins the conversation. So any new user joins the conversation, this hello and welcome message is shown. So let me edit this one. Hello and welcome. I will get the employee name from employee code. Kindly provide the employee code. Fine. I think it's crossing my current window, so let me use the wrapping. Tools, options, and we have text editor, all languages, word wrap. Yeah, now it's coming in the next line. Okay, so this will be the my welcome message, and here whenever user replies to the bot anything, so current logic is that it is going to repeat whatever user has written. So let's test this one first, the echo bot. So I am going to start without debugging. And let's open the bot emulator. Open the bot. This URL we have to provide in the bot emulator and connect. See, hello and welcome. I'll get the employee names from employee code. Kindly provide the employee code. Suppose I write it as E1001. Currently it replies me the same thing what I have written, since we had made a connection, but still we have to write some code to get the data. Okay. Now here, so let's check out the code which we had written in our last video, that is user repository code. We have to create the object of sampledb context. Let me copy this one and let me paste it over here, and this is our constructor. Okay, let us import our sampledb context. Yeah, we have imported it, and this is the method which gets the data. Copy this one and paste it over here. So we have to import the link, system.link. Then only we are able to use the link queries. Let's import the exception. Fine. Let's say this is employee object. Okay. Now we'll call this method from here. First we'll create, let me comment this out, this code. So our whatever customer has given, like what is the employee code, we have to get it into one variable. I'll get it as employee number equal to turn context dot activity dot text. Okay, So user will give the employee code and it will get saved in the employee number. Fine. Now let's create the object of employee equal to, and we'll call the method fetch employee name, and we'll pass the parameter employee name, employee number. Okay, here pass the parameter employee number. Now we'll reply to the user, and the reply text will be, let me create reply text equals to employee dot employee number plus, we are using concatenation, employee dot employee name. Fine, and this will reply it. Okay. Oh, wait a second, we haven't solved this issue, right? We have to make it, we have to write some code to get it from the JSON file. Okay, so let's copy it from our last project. So this will search the app settings.json file in the current directory, and using the keys, that is using the connection string, we'll get the connection string into this variable and we'll pass the connection string over here. Fine. Now coming back to EchoBot, we had completed our code, and let's test it. Debug, start without debugging. Let's go to our bot and restart the conversation. Let's type E1001. So it is replying me as E1001 is Rob. Let's say E1004, it's Tom, it's Steve. Okay, you can change your database in the real time, and you don't have to worry about changing your bot code, because it will get the data. Whatever changes you have made in the database doesn't matter in the bot code. Bot code is absolutely stable, you don't have to change it. Okay, so let's try changing the database and add few names or modify the existing data. So earlier E1001 was Rob, I'm gonna change it to Luna. Okay, let's check it out. I have saved it, and E1001 is Luna. See, we just modified the existing database and bot is here with the new data, Luna. Fine. So in the next video, that will be our bonus video, you can say. We'll see how to connect to the Azure database. In the Azure, we'll be using the same database, that is SQL Server, and we'll be connecting to our bot. So what is the main difference? The difference will be coming in the connection string. Currently the connection string contains only the DB server and the DB name. The Azure DB will be securely protected using the username and password. So we'll have to provide it in our connection string and do some little bit changes, and we'll be connecting to the Azure DB and getting the data. Yeah, that's all from my side. Thank you all.